Coming up on Global Perspectives, I will be speaking with Tri Cao, a family member of an AACPS student and our newest bilingual facilitator. Stay tuned. Welcome to Global Perspectives. I am your host, Karen McDonough, Manager for International Family Outreach Programs at AACPS. I'm very excited today. Our guest is Tri Cao, a family member of an AACPS student and the newest bilingual facilitator. Hi, Tri. Thank you so much for being here. I am super excited to have met you and now get to work with you through my job. But I always like to ask all of my guests to tell me a little bit about themselves, where they're from, and maybe their education or their career path. So tell me everything about you.
So first of all, thank you so much, Karen, for having me for this show. And there's, nothing about myself, but I'll try to make something. Actually, I came from Vietnam, and my full name is Cao Hữu Minh Trí in Vietnamese, as they say. It means, something like having a high and brilliant wisdom, even it's not the truth about myself.
No, I'm sure you're very wise. I'm sure you're very wise.
Yeah, and this is my 4th year in this country, and I came here with my mom and my sister.
Okay.
And it's great to be here, and yeah.
Okay, so you spent all your childhood in Vietnam, and you grew up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, did you work in Vietnam before you came, or were you just studying when you were there?
Oh, actually, when I was there, I studied.
Okay.
I was a student, and I almost finished my bachelor degree in automobile engineering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a few classes left.
So, okay, wonderful,
yeah.
Wonderful. So, I always like to learn myself. So, how do you say hello in Vietnamese?
Oh, it's very easy.
Okay.
It's like Xin Chào.
Xin Chào.
Yes.
Xin Chào. Okay.
Yes.
So that'll count as my one good thing I learned today. So thank you for that. So Xin Chào, Tri.
Yep,
because obviously Anne Arundel County Public Schools is our local school system, can you tell me a little bit about what schooling is like in Vietnam, starting with how old are children when they first go to school in Vietnam?
In Vietnam, normally all of the kids need to go to school at 3 years old.
Okay.
Yep. And from there, they will enter elementary school and middle school and high school, just like here in the U.S.
Okay. So is 3-year-old pre-kindergarten, or is it like already a formal full-day kindergarten?
Formal full day, and it is requirement from the government.
Oh, so that's very interesting, because here we don't, even though we offer preschool, kindergarten is our first official required grade, which is not until you're 5 years old. So in Vietnam, children are 3 when they start school. And do children go to school based on where they live, where different communities have certain schools, or how do they decide what school a child goes to?
In theory, they should go to school in the location where they lived.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And how do they break up the grades in terms of elementary school is from 3 to what grade, and then is it like we have where elementary, middle, and high school, or how do they divide up the grades?
For the grades, for the level of elementary school, it would be for the 1st to the 5th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, and for the middle school would be 6th to 9th grade.
Oh, 6th to 9th grade.
6th to 9th.
And then high school, what we would call 10, 11, 12.
Yes.
And so typically it is up until, say, 17 or 18 when kids leave school. Okay.
Yeah.
And then with the languages that kids speak, I know that's something that here, we start language education when children are in middle school. Occasionally there may be some schools that have what we call our EEE program. Do children in Vietnam typically learn another language, and how old are they when that starts?
Well, in my case, English is the requirement language that we have to learn.
Okay.
Yeah. And beside that, some school they teach French.
Okay.
And for now, I heard that there's Chinese.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're saying English is required, so children don't have a choice. You must learn English at some point.
Yes, and actually, I don't know how it happened right now, but for me, at that time, I don't have any choice, and
Okay.
it was chosen by school.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then is that happen in middle school or in high school when children learn or begin to learn another language?
For now, they change. I think that all of the elementary students are required
Or
to
to learn English.
learn
Oh, even
English,
as
yeah.
young as elementary school.
Yeah,
Okay,
yep,
very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me about a typical day for a student. Maybe what are the subjects that they learn, and what do they have like certain academic subjects, and do they also learn math? Music, art, physical education. What are kind of subjects do the children learn?
Oh, to be honest, in my case, when I was at school in Vietnam, the school day is quite long,
Okay.
Yeah, and it depends on school, but it takes from the school starts from around 7:15 a.m.
7:15 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, and finish at around 11 a.m. or 11:30.
Okay.
And then the afternoon start at around 12 or 12:30, depends on school,
Okay.
and finish at around 5.
So what do the children do for that chunk in the middle of the day when there's no school, between the morning and the afternoon session?
Oh, it depends on school.
Okay.
If they take a half day,
Okay.
so they will go home,
Okay.
yeah, or take a tuition.
Tutoring.
Tutoring. Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
tutoring.
okay.
Yeah, that's the word.
All right.
Tutoring. Yep. And for those who take the whole day, so they will have a break and have lunch, for example, and
Okay.
then get back to school.
And get back to school. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know when we had talked previously about some of the subjects, let's just say focusing on high school students, what are some of the subjects that children are required to learn?
It's funny because in Vietnam, it seems like we have to learn everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to learn everything, and there is no choice.
Okay, so it's
There's no
not like
choice.
here where students get, oh, I want to focus on science or I want to take an elective course. So there, the course of study is mandated. Children have no choice. This is what you must learn.
I heard
Uh-huh.
that they have some changes now,
Okay.
but in my time, there's no choice.
There's no choice.
Yes.
Okay.
And for example, like, okay, when I get into high school, I can study, the classes that I need to prepare for my college.
Okay.
But in fact, yeah, they're all the same.
They're all the same. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you are in high school, do you at that point then have to decide, okay, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be a teacher? Do children have a choice, or are you basically based on some criteria, you're going to study this, you're going to study that in college?
You know what, Karen? It's hard for me and also for many students to decide at high school because of the pressure from school and especially the grades. Yeah, and I feel like we study a lot. Even we here like the students study some very basic things. But in Vietnam, we have to study, for example, math with college degree.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
college level.
Level. Okay.
Yeah, college level at high school.
At high
And
school.
everyone have to study.
And is there, I think, the stereotype that we have of not just Vietnamese, but Asian cultures, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, that the expectation of the academic expectation for students, there's a lot of pressure to excel. So is that also typical for Vietnamese families, that the pressure to do well in school is really strong for kids? Like they must excel? You have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think it's not a good, good tradition.
Right. Well, because a
Yeah.
lot of times children struggle with that pressure, right?
That's right,
And it causes other things. Getting back a little bit to some of the just basics, just for us to understand. For instance, school lunch. Do families provide that, or does the school provide that?
How does school provide that?
And then what about transportation? Do children, no transportation.
No,
Students must get themselves
Yep.
to and from school.
Some private school, they do, but for public school, they
Public
do
school,
not.
no. Okay. And then in terms of the grades that children are given, is it on the ABC system or a 10, 9, 8? How are their grades? What do
The
they look
grades
like?
from 0 to 10.
Oh, from 0 to 10.
0 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's very awful for a student to get a 0.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
At
and
some point I get, but
I'm sure you never got a 0. I'm sure you never got a 0, Tree. But I think that's very interesting, because here we have a policy in Anne Arundel County Public Schools that the lowest grade we can give a student is a 50%. So so a 5, I guess, would be the lowest.
Yeah.
What about parents' participation in school? Are parents expected to participate and go to school or go to meetings or have parent associations? Is there those kinds of opportunities for parents in Vietnam?
Yes, yeah, in some sense, yes. But unlike here, the parents can become volunteer. But in Vietnam, we cannot.
You
but
cannot. Okay.
Probably we have meeting every at the end of every semester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the teacher, and the teacher will report the results of the students to their parents.
Okay. So
Yeah.
at the end of every semester,
Yeah.
not like once or twice a year like we have
Right.
here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so that's really interesting.
Yeah.
With at life after high school, what are in understanding, obviously, Vietnam is a communist country. Are children or young people able to have choices about what they want to learn, or is it? I know in some European countries, if you don't score high enough on a certain test, then you may not be able to choose a certain career. Is it like that, or
Yes. Yep,
okay?
Yep.
And
They have the national examination day.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so unlike here, we the students take SAT or ACT exams
Okay.
whenever they want, right?
Oh, okay.
But in Vietnam, we have certain days for the examination, and
Okay.
it takes the whole country.
Wow, the whole
Yeah.
country will be
Yeah.
all the students will be
Yeah,
testing.
yeah.
Do they do that after they finish high school, or sometime before they finish?
After finish high school.
After they
Yeah.
finish high school.
And
Okay.
it is decided by the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they make those choices. Okay. All right. Very good. So getting to a little bit about how we, how you and I met with it when you were a participant for the International Parent and Community Leadership Academy. I know that, we put out the word and asking community members and family members if they want to participate. So how did you learn about the IPCLA?
Well, lots of things that I have taken from that, and for me, it was a great opportunity for to study and learn and meet many people
Okay.
from different perspectives of the world. Yeah, and also I see the beauty, the beauty of education here in Anne Arundel County.
Okay.
Yeah, you are very open to us and give us lots of opportunities to involve and to success.
Very good.
Yeah.
And did you learn about it from like the website or your family members? How did you find out that this IPCLA was happening?
Well, I didn't expect that. I
Okay.
received an email from Francis.
Oh, from Miss
Yeah.
Francis Cruz. Yeah.
Yes, and I just I was thinking a lot about that, and I was considering should I participate in that?
Okay.
Because I don't know
What it entails, right?
Yeah. But I think at least I should try because I love helping people, and I didn't think that it will make money, something like that.
Yeah.
Just volunteer.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and it is a commitment, right?
Yeah.
So it was 3 hours a day, several weeks, 7 weeks that you participated. So I'm so glad that you decided to to make that commitment and get involved and learn a little bit more about our system. So was there anything that you learned about our school system that surprised you, maybe? Something that you're like, oh, I would have never thought that that was something that Anne Arundel County Public Schools did?
I was very surprised. Yeah, because the first time when I participated in that,
Yeah.
I feel like I am in the meeting hall of United Nations.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. And people talk a lot with each other and discuss many great topics.
Right.
And the burning passion of education, in their hearts, and I can see them.
Right.
I can see that, and I feel very grateful for that.
Well, I'm so glad. And you're right that every session, we've been doing this at Anne Arundel County Public Schools for several years now. Obviously, we took a break during the pandemic, but it is really, I know what you mean, that it's really invigorating when we have people from different countries in Asia, different African countries, Latin American countries. And so to see, I think, that, like you said, the passion of, education is important to everyone for lots of different reasons. But when you see parents and community members such as yourself involved and wanting to learn more, I think that's really brings people together with a common purpose. So I'm glad that you felt that as well. And was there something that you learned about that you think, oh, I think everybody should know about this? Was there something that you thought, oh, I want everybody to know that Anne Arundel County Public Schools does that?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I think about in my mind right now, because this is a very good model for, I think, for the whole country to have that, because it's just like a channel to help the immigrants.
Right.
Yeah, to get to know this country and to become Americans in a legal way.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
and an educational way.
Okay.
Yeah, and and it also, create the bridge between American and the international people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's what I
And
think. Yep.
Good. And I know at the conclusion of the 7-week session, or towards the end, you were given some homework as a participant of a project that, how you would like to take all the knowledge that you learned and put something into practice. So tell me a little bit about the project that you created, or your idea that you wanted to take on.
Well, the idea is having a official organization that is the bridge between Vietnamese community and a county.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think to that point, which will take me to my next topic, we and I think I shared with you, we had, the data that we have now is our Vietnamese community in Anne Arundel County is our, other than our Hispanic students, that is our next largest number. And prior to finding you, we had not had a member of the Bilingual Facilitator team that spoke Vietnamese that could be that bridge and could help our families feel more connected, get information in the language that they speak at home. So we are super excited that now you are our official Vietnamese-speaking part-time bilingual facilitator. So for our audience member, it is really important to know that we do now have, you're only part-time, and you cover the entire county, right? So that is a daunting area, a lot of families, but you will be beginning to reach out to the community, which we have unfortunately not had the personnel to do so in the past. What are your next steps in trying to get the Vietnamese community to learn who you are and that you are there to support them and help them communicate with their child's school? So what are some of the plans that you have to do that?
Well, first of all, I will call them.
Right.
Yeah, call them, and as much as possible. But at the same time, I'm also thinking about plan the meetings
Mm-hmm.
so that people can know and gather together, and from there we will have more good things.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and I think it's interesting that obviously many parents, many community members may not know that now that you're on board. So getting to know them, calling them, I think is really, really great. And then I know that you had talked about maybe having some sort of survey, right, to find out more about what kinds of questions that parents might have, what kind of information they might need, because we haven't really done a good job of doing that in the past. So I'm really looking forward to hear what the community wants and whether or not they would prefer to meet in person or meet virtually. So I think you now being the bilingual facilitator and your IPCLA experience, you obviously have that that knowledge to share and make more connections in that way. What do you think are some of the barriers to getting involved that our Vietnamese community have? What do you think are some of the things that have maybe made it difficult for them to participate up until now?
I think, from my perspective, it is the working hours, the schedule of working hours.
Okay.
Because most of them they are nails technicians,
Mm.
and they work on weekends.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and
And long hours.
Long hours. Yeah.
Right.
And during weekends, the student stay home,
Mm-hmm.
but their parents go
Right.
to work.
Right.
So it's hard for me to contact them during weekend.
Right.
Yeah, and that's my concerns about that. Yeah, that's the most challenging thing that I.
And I can imagine that obviously it's going to be some time before they know that you're reaching out to them for the school base, but or school to share with them school information. I know one of the things that you have coming up next week is going to our International Welcome Center, right, to help a family register. So I think that's probably going to be a good way for you, maybe not families that are already here, but families that are coming in, to go and meet them at their very first experience with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and then from there, help them through the enrollment process with at the actual school where their children are attending. Is there is there areas in our community where maybe families are already gathering that maybe would be a good place to go and maybe post information about you and the fact that you're now on board? Or do you get the sense that the majority of our Vietnamese community is very spread out?
I think they're very spread out.
They're very spread out.
Yeah, for now in this county.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, traditionally, there's, with our Hispanic communities, which is what I know, they tend to, when they arrive, they tend to live and be with family and things like that. But so you get the sense that our community is very spread out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they need a leader.
Mm.
Yeah, they need a leader to gather and to serve them with heart.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know how to do my job. Yeah, so
Well,
pray for
I'm
me.
sure. Yes, no. I'm sure that you will do. I think the experience of our other bilingual facilitators that have those smaller groups of people, our Chinese, Korean, and Urdu-speaking BFs, bilingual facilitators, you will be surprised that once the word gets out that Mr. Cao is here and he is willing to answer the phone and answer questions, that's going to be, you'll be surprised that parents will find you. And I know we're planning on disseminating more information, and we have our Vietnamese AACPS Facebook page. So trust me, once the word gets out, then they will find you no doubt.
Yeah.
Was there anything else, Tri, that you think would be important for our viewers to know about our Vietnamese community? We talked a little bit about the barrier that they have of long working hours and working weekends. Anything else you think is important for our viewers to know about what might be what the community might be experiencing at this point?
Well, the impact of communism
Okay.
is the most challenging
Okay.
influence, for us, because we have lived in fear since a very long time.
A very long time.
Yeah.
Well, and
So-
I'm glad that you said that, because I think when we first met through IPCLA, through just ignorance, we were using the wrong flag, right? Right.
Actually, that's yeah.
Yeah. So now, as our audience can see, we have the flag that you explained to us more accurately represents Vietnamese people. So we are, that's part of what we need to do, is we need to learn, and until we know, we can't do better if we don't know better. So thank you.
Yeah. And you know what? Coming to this show, I carrying lots of thoughts in my mind. But as the Vietnamese son, I feel like I'm not worthy to, to be enrolled in this. But I hope that Vietnamese community, at least in the county, will stay together, and realize the reason why we are here.
Right. Well, and I think that's going to be an amazing opportunity to hear their concerns, their wishes, and to try to help families help their children be successful in school and create the leaders of tomorrow. So that's
Thank
amazing.
you so much for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Welcome. So thanks again for being with us today for this edition of Global Perspectives. I'm your host, Karen McDonough. Until next time, take care.